Hey Guru Nation, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, share. Look, I got a question from YouTube of all places. I'm a CRC. I don't have experience yet as a CRA, but I have a interview question. They're gonna phrase it out. They're writing out the question. Can you please elucidate? Great word right there. How to answer this question. You're a CRA with 3 studies and set up across 6 sites. 2 sites are ready. 3 are at submission stage, and 1 site is already recruiting. 2 need SIVs, 1 needs routine monitoring, and 3 need site-ready support. You have training to complete, monitoring visit reports, follow-up letters, expense claims, data queries, essential documents to reconcile. Taking your role and your responsibilities into account, discuss how you plan to collaborate with your internal partners like the in-house CRAs, centralized support, administrative support, team leads, project managers, study startup, etc. to meet the deliverables. List your priorities and the actions you will take. So this is like every CRO, obviously every sponsor. I don't know if this is a CRO or a sponsor. It sounds like a CRO. They all have their own SOPs you need to follow, but this is very typical of a CRA's, like a daily life of a CRA. This is the life story of a CRA. What they want to find out is if you are able to multitask and prioritize, and they really want to understand your thought process of how you go about doing the duties that you do. And what they don't want you to do is like not do anything because you're overwhelmed and you go into panic mode. And believe me, brand new CRAs tend to do that. So they want to hear your reasoning. They want to hear your thought pattern. So obviously the 2 sites that are already screening patients, or however many it was, 1 or 2, the numbers don't even matter. It's the concepts that matter. You need to do your monitoring visits. Especially if their first patient got randomized, you need to go to those sites and make sure that they're following the protocol and everything else properly, because you don't want to repeat mistakes. So most studies, they want 2 weeks within first randomization a monitoring visit. That is a huge priority. Monitoring visits first. Then get the other sites that are not started up, get them started. Because every day, and these are like 2012 numbers, by the way, it's probably more now. But every day that a clinical trial is ongoing, it costs the sponsor about $1 million for a typical sized phase 3 study. $1 million a day. So every day that these sites are not active is costing that sponsor waste. That's wasted resources. Those sites, you got to figure out what's missing for those sites to get activated. Sometimes it's as simple as a contract executed for the site. Sometimes it's one financial disclosure form for a random sub-buy hasn't been submitted. So you need to coordinate with all the startup specialists for those sites. Hopefully it's just one, but maybe it's a couple, and figure out what's missing. And then you email those sites, prioritize it. If you have to, call the sites and say, hey, for your site, this is exactly what's pending. Because as a site director myself, juggling multiple studies, I have to rely on my coordinators oftentimes, and we're in this very same situation where it's like, hey, why aren't we activated yet? What's going on? I know I did the contract, but what's holding up the activation? Oh, well, this person needs training for this, and that, and this one needs financial disclosure form. But sometimes my coordinators don't even know. They're telling me, well, we don't know what's missing because no one's letting us know. Or they're letting us know things that are outdated. So you need to, for those sites that haven't started up yet, you need to figure out what's holding up the site activation. So those 2 things I would absolutely prioritize. Everything else comes later. Expense reports, I mean, those are just ongoing part of the daily routine of being a CRA. So you got to figure out the quadrant of urgent, important, urgent, not important, not urgent, important, not urgent, not important, and put these tasks into those categories. Again, I think the first monitoring visit's super important. I think getting those sites activated is super important. Those are both urgent, important. And then there's other things like non-urgent, non-important, your expenses, right? Those are just mundane things, and whatever else you had on your question. They just want to figure out your thought process, data queries, those are obviously, you have to follow up on those. Those are important but not urgent. Um, Reconciliation of essential documents, I would put those as not urgent, important, but if they are part of the sites not yet activated, then they are urgent and important. So they want to figure out your thought process, and they want to figure out if you're able to prioritize what you need to focus on now, because of course you want to say, well, I'm going to do everything. Well, what's most important? In my opinion, I think monitoring those sites, scheduling a monitoring visit for the first sites that randomize patients, urgent and important, and then simultaneously, because you can do both simultaneously. It's not like you're going to go monitor today. You can follow up with the study startup specialist internally and figure out what's missing for my sites that are not yet activated, because we need to get them ready for SIV, or maybe you already had SIV. You need to get them activated and screening, if possible, this week. So those are the things I would focus on. Good luck in your interview. Like, subscribe, comment, share. Let me know how it goes. Bye-bye.